Hello, everyone. Um, this is a video dedicated to the full moon in Aries, which is at the end of the week. So, in this video, I will explain the significance of this Aries full moon and how it will relate to spring 2025. I will give you some details on the kickstart of this full moon that launched in April of this year, and some info on how the Libra sun opposes it and what that means, and a little about full moons in general. I will then explain how this will affect each sign in detail and how you may deal with it. So, first and foremost, I decided to do a video on this Aries full moon because of its placement in the chart, um, and the overarching effect on everyone, because everyone will be affected, either personally or they'll know of someone or of someone that they're invested in. So, that's why I say everyone will be affected. Um, and just to mention, some people skip straight to their sign, which is fine. I do sometimes, but it really is important to listen to the intro because it gives you information. It helps you understand it a little bit better. It gives you a clearer picture, and you can always okay, listen to your sign, but come back and listen to the intro because it really will help you. So, the Aries full moon will be at 24 degrees 34 minutes. A full moon occurs when the moon has moved 180 degrees from its new position and the sun, earth, and moon form a line. It then goes back to a waning gibbons, waning crescent, and finally it moves back to its new moon starting position. And at times, this new moon passes right in front of the sun, and we get an eclipse of the sun. So we had two solar eclipses in 2024. Excuse me, a total solar eclipse on April 8th in Aries, and an annual solar eclipse just earlier this month on the 2nd. So the April solar eclipse was at Aries 19 degrees and 22 seconds, opposing Libra with those same degrees. So, just a note and an FYI, I do use Greek and Roman mythology to explain some stories that do relate, again, to give you a clear picture. But it was the Babylonians living 2,500 years ago in Iraq and Syria that first divided the sky into the zodiac. They were the first astrologers. Um, and, and before that, and since then, Earth has precessed. Precession is a natural process lasting about 25,800 years that sees Earth wobble on its axis, um, something like a spinning top, because of the moon's gravitational influence as well. So the result is that the North Star, and that's in quotations, and points constantly change. In short, the apparent positions of the stars have shifted west. So that's another reason I say Western astrology. It's not, but I just like likening it to that. Okay, now going back to the April 8th solar eclipse, which was at Aries, in Aries at 19 degrees 22 seconds, opposing Libra. And I've mentioned in my other videos, and I want to mention it here, an eclipse. Um, I liken them to like a 3 minute, 5 minute, 3 minute movie trailer of the movie that you're going to see for 2 hours or 2.5 hours. So same thing within your life. For that day, those few days or a week, because eclipses, full moons, can have the energy extended out a week before, a week after. So whatever's happening within those days is your movie trailer of what will take place in your life for 6 months, a year, sometimes more. Okay. Um, So since Aries is a fire sign and likes to initiate, this would have been the start of a somewhat Um, Somewhat of a painful new beginning, if that makes sense. For some, that book ends this full moon in Aries in a cathartic ending. Again, uh, because it's opposing Libra, it's opposing something that we want to carry on with us from the past. And let us not forget the nodes. The North Node is in Aries and the South Node is in Libra. So there's karma here from about 19 years ago that's going on. So it's whatever you owe in karma or whatever is owed for you. Um, but what I'm mainly saying here is for my nervous signs, this is not something new or sudden. The signs were there in April. I mean, it showed you in April, but the signs were there earlier than even April. But in April, it was the beginning of the end, if that makes sense. Now, aside from the people stuck in the past or holding on to something that needs to end or evolve, for almost all of us, April's solar eclipse did have an exciting new beginning. But with each new beginning, some of us wanted that Aries solar eclipse new beginning to be shared with current relationships. And I'll explain that a little later. But suffice it to say, in order for a new beginning, something in the past needs to end. So Libra, so maybe a partnership or whatever Libra dominates in your house. To either find a new identity, Aries, to start a new partnership or evolve an existing partnership. Um, if that makes all sense too. And again, I will say, while all of us felt that April Aries solar eclipse, and we will really feel this full Aries moon, um, again, because it's karmic, because the nodes are involved, and it is coinciding with an end of an era. Pluto is leaving Capricorn the end of next month after a 15-year journey, as well as Saturn and Neptune upcoming change of signs in early 2025. Um, but the signs, and just before I say that, also because we're like ending water signs and we're going into fire signs. So there's a shift, a change, okay? The signs who will feel it the most this full moon will be Aries, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and we'll throw in Cancer. But like I said, it depends, or maybe I didn't say, it depends on your natal chart and those degrees and what you have. If you have Aries and Libra stellium in your chart, okay. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if everybody knows, but you can always go to Google and do free birth charts, um, and just pick one of the sites, and you go in and you just plug in your information. It's like your birth date, the time of birth, and where you were born, and it'll give you your natal chart so you can compare the degrees that I mentioned. Okay, so the chart is set up as this Aries full moon is in the first house of self. So uh, because it's Aries, and Aries is the first sign, we're going to look at it like that and go um, clockwise like that. Okay, um, and it has Fortuna there too, along with Aries. The Sun in Libra is in the seventh house of partnerships, so that's the seventh house of Aries. It might not be your seventh house, but Libra may fall into a different house for you, but it has the theme of partnerships. And Libra is joined with Juno there. Juno was Jupiter's bride. And again, the nodes, north and south node, and everything is at 24 degrees. So there's a lot happening in Aries in Libra if I didn't mention it before. So yeah, this is going to be a doozy. Yeah. And it is all about partnerships. So, is it a wedding or a divorce? Is it an engagement or a separation? Is it a shack up or a breakup? Yeah. Now, let us look at Juno, Jupiter's bride. Um, and just a little on her is she's about the good and the bad aspects of commitments. So, if you are married or to be married, you lose your freedom um, uh, as an independent person. However, you gain another's status, name, rank, or you gain class or a distinction of some sort. Um, so the consequences are me, my profile, my identity. Okay, so the pros and cons. Of course, this is not only about personal partnerships, it is also about professional partnerships, um, business partnerships, and dueling partnerships. The enemy. So if it is not about you, it is about a lot of people you know personally, professionally, politically, and even celebrities. You'll see it playing out with them. Why I said it is important for early spring of 2025 is because Saturn and Neptune will start leaving Pisces and enter Aries. The decisions you will be making on this full moon will reverberate something new in early spring next year. That is, the benefits and consequences start to show in early spring. Um, but whatever's ending here and whatever is trying to be compromised, that's what we'll start working on in early spring next year. And I've mentioned in my other videos that Neptune will finally forever leave Pisces in 2026, since it's been there since Valentine's Day, February 12th, is because it really does move out next spring 2025, but there's a retrograde and then it finally leaves in 2026 forever. I just wanted to throw that in, okay? Now, look at your chart. If you do have factors, Aries factors, it will be about your profile, exterior, your reputation, your appearance, how others and the world or outsiders see you. So your professional exterior is also on display, or the one in a duel. And extend that to your internet or social media profile and presence. All right, so now you've got that background a little bit, and I will start for each sign. And we will start with the star of the show, Aries. So I'm going to stop this and switch. Okay, Aries, you're up. So let me start the slideshow for you. You are the star of this show, of this full moon. Okay, so you will be making a decision on whether it is yours or hers, your beliefs or theirs, your setup or their house, city, country. Now, since the sun is in Libra, you will need to cross that divide by being imaginative, innovative, or have an inspiring vision. Because Libra is creative, many celebrities and songwriters are Libra or have Libra factors or stellium. So, in other words, you have to be that line steadying the two scales, a hyphenated name, maybe taking that assistant with you to your new position, uh, making accommodations for that, or moving the family to a new city for the position, or commuting a ridiculous amount of time, once or twice a week, maybe, um, uh, or more, or building a really special space or house for your dog that your partner is allergic to outside this new home. Embracing your part of the duel to compromise, or what you brought to the duel. Sharing the custody of the children, taking the house but accepting a lower alimony, giving up the house but taking a higher alimony, keeping your name on the storefront but giving up shares and control, or vice versa. Accepting the engagement or marriage, but with your in laws moving in or you moving in with them. This has to be done on a deep down, mano a mano, intimate, bare all discussion with the other, rather than um, maybe anticipating an outcome or knowing, because you are the initiator and it is you are a me first sign. But in a partnership, um, it's not about you ordering for the other person. Yeah. Excuse me. um, so even anticipating a third person or people in the equation, lawyers, manipulation, or astrology, or even witchcraft. Why I bring up the ethereal here is because we will be close or in Scorpio season, and there may be an incident, maybe an affair, or an occasion that takes place, and a breakthrough progress, or it jettisons you or the people around you. It may also be something religious in nature. Excuse me. Or inheritance that involves your family, their family, or an extended family. Sorry. And again, I did mention the North and the South nodes being in your sign and Libra. So this is karmic. You can think about 19 years back. Yeah. This also does involve finances and the instability of it. Your finances, maybe. You have Taurus or personal or business partner, or partners, but that you have to factor that in as Uranus is in Taurus still next year. And for you, like I said, it is your first house. The full moon falls in your first house, and the sun is opposing your first house, which falls in Libra, and the partnership, the scale, the compromise. So whatever is restrictive in your first house is is pushing you for this ending in your first house of self and identity. And like I said, next year, whatever you do on this full moon, whatever you decide on this full moon, whatever is ending, and wherever the friction was in your seventh house of partners, whoever they may be, this is the theme that will start in spring of 2025. So, any full moon, as I've always mentioned, it is really, really important to, um, if not, if not delay the decision, but come to it not with heat, um, because full moons are emotional as is. Now, this may not be you. This may be your sister, your brother, your parents, or someone you know personally that you're invested in, or it can be someone or a group that you hear about. But since it is in your sign, you will personally feel this. Okay, so good luck with that, Aries. It's all good, like I said, as you will get a new beginning in this area in spring of 2025. So wishing you the best. I'll talk to you soon. Hi, Taurus. Okay, start the slideshow for you. So you're up next. This full moon in Aries is really about your hidden 12th house of faith, religion, and secrets. You are either putting something to rest about a friend, family member, or a group, or you will see that happening to a friend or group in and you will try to help him, her, or they cross that bridge from the past to their current situation. There is a finality or um, seemingly an irreversible decision here, if it is you or it happens to a friend or a group, there is a relaunch or reestablishment with you, him, her, or they or them, um, in early spring. Something new happens here in early spring next year. Now, the clash with the Libra Sun and Juno in your sixth house, again, if it is about you, it is about your mental and physical well-being and or your routine that is necessary for you to end something regarding your hidden self or psyche, or maybe it involves medicine or alcohol or substance abuse. Um, if it is about a friend or a group, your concern is about their mental state, and thus you trying to find a balanced solution of the past and their current situation, maybe creatively, um, using your psyche or theirs. And it popping up in your 12th and 6th house is quite literally exhaustive and draining, for you, that is. But the pull is undeniable, maybe even karmic, that you are thrown in this in the middle if this is not about you. So yeah, maybe you're the rod in between the scale, for lack of a better word. Yeah. Like I said, if it is not about you, it will be someone you know personally, maybe a family member or extended family, or a really close friend of something like that. So it is the death, for a lack of a better word, and the journey of the new. And the new, you can see, will take some time, almost like a healing time, if you will. I say sometime because how does the saying go? First you fear it, then you face it, then you're sad, and then you heal, or something like that. I might be murdering it. I'm sorry. Um, but only then, only through that journey, through that time, through that space, then can you resurrect a new way of life, new habit, a new routine. Meaning, when something ends, the feelings go through like a tumbler. Um, First, as in dirty clothes are washed off dirt, debris, and even smell, so an ending. Then, before they can be reused again, they need to go into the dryer. If the clothes are removed before they are dry, they are unwearable and uncomfortable. Thus, the time it takes for this new existence or resurrection, if you will. And again, like I said, it does fall in your house of mental health, behind the scenes, secrets, the past, um, and any confining or restricting um, places. And what's pushing up against that is what's forcing you to end that, end something in your hidden house, is from a partner or a partnership. In order for you to be all present in this partnership, you need to end this hidden, this secret, this maybe alcohol or drug abuse or something like that. But that's the theme. Look for any factors of 24 degrees or 23 or 25, one on each side, or any Aries factors or Libra factors in your chart, and see if they match. And I did mention earlier in the intro, you can go to Google and then do free birth charts, and pick one of the websites, plug in your information. I think it only asks you for your date of birth, the time of birth, and the place you were born. And then you will get your natal chart and all the degrees with it, so that you can match it. And also, if you haven't listened to the intro, please do listen to it. It has some um, good information that you can use to figure out the energies that are around this full moon, because it is a powerful full moon. It is a fire moon. because Aries is a fire sign. Okay, Taurus, and you have other aspects that are going on. Um, Uranus is in your sign, so you can come up with really unique ideas that might help you here or help this person that you're seeing go through this. All right, that is all, Taurus. Like I said, this is just dedicated to the full moon. Good luck, and if there are any decisions to be made, I would just hold off on them till after the full moon has passed, because again, it's an emotional full moon. Hi, Gemini. How are you guys doing? Let me start the slideshow for you. Okay, Gemini, this Aries full moon is either affecting you within a group, or it is about a group, a friend, or a friend within a group. It is a conclusive or determinative conclusion of a chapter regarding a group or a friend, or you from her, him, or them. You or these people will decide who or what they are and want. Now, this opposes your house of romance, children, creativity, pets, or gambling. With this group deciding on an ending here, your quandary is, who do I choose? Or it could be, who will they choose? Like I've been telling the signs previous to you, if it is not about you, it will be someone you know and have some sort of melancholy feelings for, or some you have some investment in them, or they may be from your past, but they are deep rooted feelings about this person. There is a kind of bitter sadness here. Maybe it is a past karmic relationship or a current relationship that feels karmic, because the nodes are also in Aries and Libra. So karma from like 19 years ago. And I do urge you to listen to the intro, because it does, this full moon does oppose Libra. So I give a little explanation on that and more. So to be a little more clear, let me give you a political example and on an individual basis. So, for example, you. Um, an example would be someone like Dick Cheney endorsing Kamala Harris. I'm not saying you're Dick Cheney. I'm just giving an example. Okay, so Dick Cheney is uh, he would be considered an establishment Republican, and of course Kamala Harris is a Democrat, but a progressive Democrat. And Dick Cheney and Trump would be like the populist Republican, and he is the current nominee. But Dick Cheney's ideals do not jive with Trump's, so he endorses Kamala Harris. I'm just giving you an example, or the group. So, like the right disowning the Republican right or far right disowning Liz Cheney, his daughter. As we saw, she lost her election. And the group are affirmed in their belief that not only did she go against the narrative of their narrative, for example, regarding January 6th, as it was their narrative again was a mistake and not an insurrection, but she has now endorsed Harris going against Trump. So it's an affirmative for the group. So the group will make this a no take back or no go back decision. There is a finality here. I don't know if I gave you a really bad example to explain that. I apologize, but it was just a clear example. Now, this doesn't mean that this person being clipped out doesn't make a comeback or a resurrection, but I'm referring to this full moon's finality. On a micro plane, again, this is about you ending or they ending your association within a group. because of a current romance, children, or maybe gambling lifestyle or habit. It could be your new romance doesn't like your friends and you give them up, or your new lover is not accepted by your group or family. Or it could be you are a new parent and your lifestyle doesn't mesh with this group anymore. Or you have a gambling habit of which your friend or group ends their relationship with you. Or it could be a past friend or a group that was more than just a friend and they are going through some kind of dissolution with their own, maybe Aries full moon, and you may feel somewhat responsible. If it is, like I said, it's karma. In this circumstance, I need to warn you that you do have something new happening with your friendship zone, and it is something big. And as I have mentioned, there is a theme of a resurrection. So, if it is about a past friend that was not accepted by a group, this ending here is setting up the stage for the spring. I hope I've not confused you again, but if you are the sign of the twins, and all feeling and scenarios are doubled for you, thus my need to touch on many different scenarios. But to end, this full moon is about an ending of your involvement with a friend or group because of your romance or children. Or you hear about a friend's ending regarding a child or romance that hits some sort of spot for you, as if it is happening to you. Yeah, because like I said, if it's not happening to you, you will know someone that it happens to. Did I mention a Taurus or Aries, or maybe even Sagittarius, who's prominent here? Sorry about that. Your dilemma seems to be whether you should go back, mend, or fix it and return to it, or should you walk away, leave, and start over again? It is a huge decision indeed. The only thing I can tell you is that you have to be immensely honest with yourself and your feelings. And okay, extend that to your mirror, your partner, as it will be reflected back to you. Granted, the pull is bigger than you, and it is undeniable, and no one can make this decision for you. But what will help you is being truly honest with yourself. You lack no creativity, and why I mention that is because um, this compromise or this balance needs creativity. But for you, and the way your chart is set up, it really has to be the honesty you have within yourself. Of course, it depends on your natal chart and where you are in life, age wise, but most of you will be walking away and feeling that it is not worth mending it because of all that has changed. A sliver of you will not, hence the setup in spring next year. But then you've had the experience. I feel for you, Gemini. You are an air sign, and if the heart is not in sync with your head, well, you know how that goes. Check your natal chart for these degrees or any Aries or Libra factors, and think back about 19 years ago regarding karma and if you are owed or you owe. So, again, just to recap, um, because I might have confused you. I'm not sure. But this ending is in your 11th house of friends because of your 5th house of romance. The pressure in your 5th house of romance, children and creativity, is forcing an ending in your 11th house of friends. Okay, Gemini, this video was only for dedicated to this Aries full moon. So this will be the ending here, and I will talk to you probably in November for your November horoscope. Take care. Be well. Hello, Cancer. Let me start the slideshow for you. So this is a dedicated video to the Aries full moon that will be at the end of this week. And if you have not listened to the intro, please do so even after if you hear your sign only, because it has some important information that will help you get a clearer picture. Okay, Cancer. This will be affecting your career, reputation, and or power brokers or powerful people who have influence over you and the group. Now, since you are married to your loyalty about the family, your family and extended family too, and most important, your mother, this decisive finality with your career, status, and or reputation may seem straightforward. But since your fourth house is an emotionally deep rooted house, it will be quite sticky. You are ruled by the moon, Cancer, so your and others' emotions are going to be high, even I would say on steroids. Please give yourself and others room, a lot of room and time. Decisions on full moons, I don't think are a good idea because of the emotions involved. So if you can delay them, that would be best. You can extend this to a business partnership too. You can think back to April of this year to where the beginning of the end started. There was a full solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. And this full moon will be bookending that. If it is regarding your status ending as a Mrs. to Miss or Miss to Mrs., the opposing family dynamics can mean a lot of things. If you, for example, were the sole provider for your own family, this new status will end your contribution to your family, maybe. If you were extremely close to your family, this new status or or a move will mean to you the tearing up of your family. If it has to do with a move because of the ending of one career to another or ending a career altogether, then it may mean leaving your home and for some neighborhood, city, state, or even country. Again, very emotional. Now, if this is not about you personally, but rather someone very close to you, maybe your mother, parents, siblings, or even cousins, because like I said, you're all about family, it will feel like it is your own career status and reputation that is ending here. Um, and you're ruled by the moon, like I said, and you're a very empathetic creature. So that whatever happens to a loved one, even if it's not a loved one, even if it's someone in your extended family or a friend, you really take on that pain, that sorrow, or that feeling. I can say that there is going to be a unique or startling offer about money, inheritance, or joint finances, and the possibilities this offers. But it has something to do with willpower, believing in yourself, and having the confidence to be able to seize it. One of the possibilities is about a home or renovation, maybe a garden, maybe a pool, or maybe a farm. But more importantly, again, it relates to the family. In extension, it is about a group and you and another person. Are you in the group or alien to it? Or are you removed somehow or outside this group? Or is this third person distant from this group? For some of you, it is in regards to legal, the law, or legitimacy. What is wrong or right, justice, if you will. And this fair judicial objectivity is not something that you or others can make, as it is too personal. This will be made from someone powerful, a judge, moderator, or dare I say God. Excuse me. If it is God, you will know it. But this is the ending, the finality, and an irrevocable situation so that everyone involved will fall in line and adhere to it or to this judicial verdict, if you will. Okay? If there is no judge, jury, or adjudicator, it is about what is fair and equal in the court of public opinion. And since it is your status and reputation, or that of your families, there still is a neutral, powerful person or group majority deciding this factor. Wherever you fall in this hot mess of an ending or final decision, it is your empathetic creativity that can help balance the outcome. Try to leave your biases at the door so that an objective and neutral, fair balance can help you and others in the acceptance of it. Yeah? But the universe or God is bringing this powerful arbitrator to help you. Now, it can be a lot of different scenarios, but to keep it simple, so that I don't confuse you, the full moon is falling in your 10th house of career, like I mentioned in the above. Okay, and this ending is because of a family situation, um, because Libra is your fourth house of home and family, and this full moon is opposing the sun. Now, both are equally powerful, and there's a deadlock here. But yes, there are emotions involved, but there needs to be, like I mentioned, like an empathetic, um, or empathetic. Oh, I don't know. I'm lost for words right now. But a creative or with an empathetic balance for each, um, because this third, if this is not happening to you, like I said, it might be someone you're close to or invested in, might be a sibling or a cousin, and there's a third person that's far from this group for some reason, and the law is involved or government is involved. So the it will feel like it's out of your hands or out of the hands of the group because of this government, or law. So that'll be, it'll be easier accepted that way. Yeah. But as I said in the intro, and try to listen to that, is what you are seeing the ending of now. There will be a resurrection of it, but in a new environment, or a new situation in early spring. You're getting to see something of a commercial, of a movie trailer, of what will suddenly happen new in spring, because Neptune and Saturn will enter Aries in spring. So this is the theme. So that's why I'm saying on the full moon, um, try to bring down the heat, um, or try to delay a decision, if possible. If not, that's fine, but just try to bring down the heat and the conflict, because you don't want that reverberating with this resurrection or this new beginning in the spring. Okay, Cancer? I hope I gave you a window into this, and good luck on this full moon. I will talk to you guys soon. Hello, Leo. Let me start the slideshow for you. Excuse me. So, at the risk of being repetitive, please try to listen to the intro, because it does have some important information that precedes your horoscope, and time. Sorry, I apologize. Um, and some other information that will help you get a clearer picture. Even if you listen to the intro after you listen to your sign, that's fine too. I mean, sometimes I do that, but try not to skip the intro. And in the comment section, I will have some links to other things that you might find useful. Okay, so this video is dedicated to the Aries full moon uh, that we have at the end of this week. Um, and for you, you might be one of the signs that may not actually mind this ending or finality with your higher education, travel, foreigners, foreign places, or publishing headaches. But it does come with the price of the unknown, of your neighbors, neighborhood, commuting, communication, or social media, or your need to be heard. So, what is happening here is the Aries full moon is falling in your ninth house of foreigners and higher education. And the ending here is being pushed by the Libra sun, in which falls in your third house of commuting and communication. So, um, so that's basically it. There's something that's ending in your travel house because of this commuting house. Just one scenario. Now, there is something restrictive or restraining regarding either where you are living or about your communication, and you've had to rely on your instincts more. For most of you, it has to do with some kind of restriction or restrictive place, and it, it may have been foreign to you, um, or maybe a foreign place or foreigners. So this restriction is being lifted, breaking free of it, but feeling melancholy about it. Something about the past. Um, or something about a faraway place. There's just a sadness, a tinge of a sadness there. Uh, Something like the Welcome Back Cotter song comes to mind, like Welcome back to the same old place that you left about. So something like that. Um, for other Leos, it has to do with your philosophy of life, because there seems to be a young person, or maybe two, who are having trouble with some sort of uncertainty or security regarding a family or or foundational situation. It may be your daughter or your grandson or your lover's children. It may be your nieces or nephews, or between your son and his daughter. Um, And there is some sort of discord and or tension, maybe about a separation of some sort. The dilemma is, how do I repair or modify it, even with the instability afoot? And putting yourself in their shoes, or trying to remember your own, maybe, and I'm putting it in air quotes, youthful philosophy might help you to understand theirs. Since you rule the fifth house of children and pets, tuning into this philosophy may have you helping with mediating a dialogue that only you can. Um, because you rule this fifth house of um, romance, children, and creativity, your dialogue um, can be creative, because Libra also rules creativity, and it is ruled by Venus. And many creative people have Libra factors or Libra stelliums. A lot of celebrities, a lot of songwriters, a lot of book writers. For other Leos, it has to do with some kind of stability with your finances. as it may have been getting out of hand. Excuse me. Or if it's not getting out of hand, maybe there was just too much going on that you couldn't steady it. For you guys, you know that a balance of your mental and physical health contributes to a steady financial situation. For you younger Leos, this may have to do with ending school and having to leave that foreign environment, coupled with a security or a stability of where you will be living or the neighborhood. Okay, so um, maybe this school environment, dormitories or out of state place, um, kind of um, has shaped you. Is what you're um, longing for, but it's ending, and then what you're coming to, um, because of so many changes, you might be longing to find a new environment that has that same old environment, if that makes any sense. It may be helpful to know, Leo, and to relay that everything inclusive of any ending is not written in stone or forever. Meaning, if you listen to the intro, and I will give you a little heads up, is that whatever is happening on this full moon will reverberate to early spring. There will be a resurrection, or a new thing, but with the same theme in spring. So that on a full moon, because it is emotional, I would try to avoid making any decisions if you can. If you can't, just try to bring down the heat, um, or any rash judgments, because you don't want to be entering this spring with these same going ons, or with this resurrection with a conflict of some sort. It'll be just too hard to make it. Um, because Saturn and Neptune will be going into Aries in spring. So something new, a big new beginning, a big new regeneration, resurrection in this same ending will happen in spring. So hold on to your hats on this full moon. It is a very emotional full moon. It is in the sign of a fire sign and a me first sign. So these two things that are butting heads, that are on the opposite sides of the scale, needs to be balanced somehow. And and you are perfectly suited because you rule the house of creativity. And you're a very empathetic person to the younger generation. And there is something about a young person, or um, two generations after you, or something like that, if you are an older Leo. Other than that, like I said, this was dedicated only to this full moon in Aries. But listen to the intro. There's the degrees. Look at your natal chart and see if you have any Aries or Libra factors, or the degrees that is touching, and you'll figure out where you are affected in what house. And if it is not you, it is someone, like I said, personal to you. You will know of someone that is going through this. Okay, Leo. So good luck. Take good care of your health, and I will speak to you probably in November for your November horoscope. Hi, Virgo. Hope you're doing well. Let me start your slideshow so you don't get bored. Okay, so this is a video dedicated to the Aries full moon that's happening this weekend. Um, so, this is about an intense desire while maintaining your values. This can either be about you or the next generation, or a romance that is younger than you. There's an age difference. What factors in is the confusion and lack of boundaries that either There is an idealism of losing boundaries to gain security, or setting boundaries at the risk of losing security, if that makes any sense. And of course, thank Neptune for that. You've been dealing with that fog in your partnership house. For other Virgos, it is about an ending of joint finances that can be due to a divorce or a separation or split, or the ending of one chapter of a legacy, your legacy, which again can be about your children leaving or getting married, or you getting married, and that your values being in friction with that. Maybe you traditional Virgos are unapproving of your children shacking up with someone, or you shacking up with another, and your value system in reference to your children is front and center. Um, so before I go on, and Aries falls in your eighth house of sex, death, and taxes, and it is sex is more of like real, true intimacy, and it does include sex, of course. The bedroom, taboo, and some sort of regeneration. It includes um, bank loans and credits, government funding, grants, or benefits. It it includes the money that you earn from others, lump sums of gifts, and joint finances. So you benefit from your partner's income. Yeah, and that is your Aries house. Libra is your second house of job, money, and income that you earn on your own. And of course, your value system, how you value yourself and others, who you will sell out for and who you will not. So, just to make that clear, and there is a full moon in Aries this weekend, and full moons are indicative of endings, um, finales. And the pressure to have this ending is coming from your second house of your value system, or your job, or the money you earn. So there's something in your Libra house of job and income that is forcing an ending in your house of joint finances, inheritance, sex, and government. So the government is involved as well. There's something of a legality here, um, something about a verdict, about a decision from a powerful source. It can even be um, international. So there is somebody maybe abroad. You might be. It might be you that is abroad, and your partner is somewhere else, or your partner is somewhere else, and it's simply you two are far away from each other. Maybe he works somewhere else, or is living somewhere else, or you work out of the country or the state. There's a distance for some of you. Okay, and the issue here is either money or your value system, and there's and for another sliver, there's something about a law, paperwork, legal paperwork, something in that arena. Yeah. Okay, so that's what's entanglement here. Let me continue. So now, Libra is not only seeking the balance of that, but it can also be a reconciliation through compromise. Not necessarily compromising your values, but maybe thinking creatively um, to reconcile the difference, or simply reconciling after a fallout. or the fallout, or of this decision that I told you is in regards to something legal. Now, your house of foreigners is also lit up. So maybe the friction is an introduction of a foreigner into this family dynamic, because there's also the family involved, or a group. If it is, again, there is an air of confusion or mist about it. And there has to be a clearing of the fog before a decision is acted upon. Um, Even though you're sort of in a tug of war. Um, some are just like saying, you know, um, give it up, and others are saying, well, or you're justifying that, well, there's this confusion about legal things, so I need to wait to act on it, something like that. Now, I hate to introduce another factor into this equation, but it is right here staring me in the face with your chart. So, drum roll, please. Um, it is about some time or some type of success, yours or theirs. And this success, even if it is theirs, it really is because of your support, sacrifice, and hard work. Um, and thereas, and rightly so, you feel that it is not enough to say good enough, or something like, and please don't get me the wrong way, but it's for some of you, something like a slam bam, thank you, ma'am. You're not putting up with that. Um, I'm laughing with you, Virgo. It was rather an understood investment, in other words. Um, not a fatal attraction type of deal, but and I'm doing air quotes, understood investment. Now, this can be tricky to explain or to understand when you're dealing with the house of desire, which is your eighth house of sex, and the next generation, because there seems to be children involved, or a younger person, um, maybe a daughter from a previous marriage, or maybe this faraway person or this other person have their own children, or the problem is from your children not accepting this. Um, it can be that, um, because desire or youth often rejects restriction and is bound to break free. So that's why it seems like a really sticky mess. And this ending, I mean, the second house is a deep rooted house. So um, having the eighth house of desire force you to end something, or vice versa, is complicated, and it is emotional, to say the least. There is the Libra opposition of finding a compromising solution. And the trick is creative thinking, because this Aries full moon opposes the Libra sun. Yeah? So Aries is your eighth house, and Libra is your second house of values. And Libra is a creative sign. It's ruled by Venus. As any parent knows, this is where your mental exhaustion starts showing your age. I'm laughing with you. But don't even worry about that, Virgo. The gods gave you and Gemini eternal youthfulness, so it would be a temporary, uh, 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 like bags under your eyes. In a few days or weeks or whatever creams, you'll look brand new again. But I don't mean to make light of a situation for those of you who are going through a heartbreaking situation, a very complicated, a very passionate situation. So, especially if it involves your children or their children or children in general. But I can tell you that there will be some type of breakthrough situation that has a reconciliation and it looks like a celebration. Um, the the only thing I'm going to mention and stress is, well, first listen to the intro. Okay, it'll give you a clearer picture, and second, on this full moon, try to restrain from making a judgment call or a decision if you can. Sometimes you just can't, and if you can't, um, try to bring down the emotions. Try to bring down the heat. Uh, Try not to be judgmental and snap. Um, for your health, for one. Second, if there's children involved, you don't want that trauma. And the third and final thing is because there is a regeneration, a rebirth, or something new with the same thing, same theme happening next spring. Um, so you you're getting like a snapshot with this full moon, with this ending that will be a theme in spring of next year, but something new. Okay, so this is the ending, and then which has to happen for this new thing to happen in spring, or a regeneration of it, a phoenix rising from the ashes of it. The only thing you don't want to do during this full moon is have conflict or harsh judgments. Try to really pull on your Libra scales and creativity and calmness. Okay, Virgo, I hope that gave you a window on it, and I wish you the best of luck. And like I said, this was just a short dedicated video to the Aries full moon. If you have any questions, please do comment in below. All right, I will probably talk to you in November with your November horoscope.